Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to make another couple of cards with you, again using some old things with the new. So I again took out two of the DL cards that I have, and again I've taken off about 1.5 inches off the top. So I've got two A6 cards or card blanks, and they are really nice quality. I mean, they are like an off-white colour and they're hammered textured, so I'm going to be using these up. So I've got two of these ready to be used on. I'm also using two die sets. I'll be using this Fanciful Font die set from Tonic Studios, and it's just pretty flourishes. And then I'm also going to be using a tag from the Mama Elephant. What's this one called? I think this is called, let me have a look. I can't see a name, but it's all the tags in here. So I'm going to be using this tag shape from this set. So it's got really nice sizes in here. And then I have in front of me a lot of things. So next to my where I make my cards, I have a tiny little pot like this. This is just a Prima flower pot with just some scraps of pretty lace, and I think this is the only way I'll be using up some of my lace. So this is going to be like a mixed media kind of card tutorial. And so I use some scraps. I'm going to be using some scraps from here. Okay, and this is just in a Prima flower pot. Then I've got, I'm not sure if I'll be using these or not, but I've got these out, and these are Artsy stones, and they are by Imagination Crafts. So I'll put the link below to where you can find them. And because I might use these, I've also got out the structure paste to go with them, so put them to a side. I've also got these pretty Nuvo drops. I've got a Dream drop in this colour, which is Gold Luxe. And because I'm doing two cards, I've been doing two different colorways. And then this one is Bubblegum Blush, and this is a Crystal Drop. So I'll be using these two drops. I've also got my Nuvo hybrid ink pad, and the reason I'm using this black shadow ink pad is because it's really fast drying. So great if you're using them for cards. I've got some Prima blooms here, which I'm going to layer up to create some flowers. I'll show you that in a sec. And then the old things I've got, so I've got my laces, which I've had for a while, but these are note cards, and every Prima collection I've bought, I bought these note cards, and basically within a set you get 4x6 note cards that look really pretty, very colourful, great for layering. So these are really old. This is the Fairy Bell collection, and this is like probably 7-8 years old, I'm guessing. So I'll be using a few of these to layer up. I've also got out here some pearls if I want to use them, just to add some texture. I've got some pearl loops here for texture, and then some twine here, or Hessian twine, again if I want to add some bows or texture. And then these are some metal embellishments. So I've got like these pieces. One's already broken, and this was like a flower piece here, so I'll probably use these. And I've got some butterflies, so I'm not sure how and where, but I'll try and incorporate these in my cards. So let's get started and make some. So my first card I want to do in a landscape design, and the first thing I'm going to do is ink up the edges of the note cards with the black shadow ink pad from Tonic Studios Nuvo range. And it's a very beautiful like fast drying ink pad, so it's perfect for this kind of thing to do. Really easy, just inking up with a blender there. And I'm also going to be doing the same thing to the tag, which I've already cut out, and I've stamped on best wishes for this one from one of my old stamps, and I don't have the packaging to give you the name for that stamp, but it was just a perfect little stamp for the middle of the tag there. So the first layer is going to go on with some double-sided tape. Really easy and quick to do, so it doesn't need any more dimension on the first layer, so it's just going on with tape. And the second layer is going to go on with some foam pads just to add a bit of dimension there. So after those are on, I've got a couple of flowers here. The first fabric flowers from my lovely friend Annie, who's Miss Garden Grove 1. Layered it on with some Prima flowers. So the first large one is a fabric flower. I've got 2 smaller flowers that I've layered. I've also got a couple of these flourishes cut in the same card as the base of the card, and then I've got my Nuvo drop here. So all I'm doing is just putting down the elements just to see how I kind of want it set out, and I'm going to go from there. Not to forget, I've added my lace, so I needed to cut some scrap pieces and add on and cut down to size, because this one was quite long, so I wanted to add it first before I added the other layers on top, just to give lots of texture and lots of interest to the card there. So I'm just going to go ahead and add everything on with hot glue. So I've also got my metal embellishments out, and I'm just using a bad pair of scissors. I wouldn't use your best scissors on these, or if you've got some metal cutters, that'd be perfect. But they are fairly easy to just cut up, and I've just cut them down so I can use them in different areas. And for the tag there, I'm just using some foam pads on the top so it balances it out with the layers beneath it. So I'm just tucking in the pearls there, just deciding where I want things again, and just tucking it here and there, and then adding that little flower on the top. And I also wanted to, well, I couldn't decide if I wanted the twine bow there or not, and at the end I decided I didn't want it on there because it was covering up that pretty lace detail, so I left that out. So I've got the Artsy stones here, and I got both of them, but I ended up using the smaller of the 2 sizes only because it was a smaller card and I wanted it to be, you know, not overtaking all the flowers and everything. So I stuck with the smaller stones, and the best way I found to use them is put down the paste, the structure paste with my knife there, and then adding the stones with that craft spatula knife, and it was just really easy to clean off at the end as well. So you do get a few balls that run around here and there. You can just pick them up and stick them back on. It's really easy product to use. And now I'm just going in with a few drops from that Nuvo drop. Just beautiful shine on these, and it just gives another slight burst of colour on the project. So that's going to complete my first card, and then the second one I wanted to do, again I've inked the edges like I did with the first one, and this one is going to be a portrait card. So it's just a similar kind of way, and I'm just going to put it together in the same way as I did the first card. You can see there the note cards are really pretty on the edge, just beautiful detail. And Prima have got a lot of, I think the older note cards are very decorative like these ones. The newer ones are more straight edges. So if you've got old note cards, I would definitely recommend just getting them out and using them on your cards, your layouts, just any sort of you know, craft project that you might be working on, or snip into them and use them as frames as well. So this time I've got a with love stamped onto that tag, and that with love is from a Crafter's Companion stamp set. And again, I'm using another fabric flower layered on underneath the Prima flower, and these fabric flowers, like I said, are from Annie, who's Miss Garden Grove one, so thanks Annie for those. And here I'm slipping into some more pretty little lace that I've got in my little pot there, and I'm going to start layering things up and just checking out how things look once they're layered down without sticking them down first, and it'll give me an idea of how I want things on the card. I love these little flourishes that are by Tonic Studios, and I think it'd be really nice if I also used like a metallic card for them. I just used the scrap piece that was left over from cutting the card base. I've just used that card to cut these flourishes out, and here I'm using some twine or the Hessian string, and I've just put it on there just to give a bit of a lift on the top. It does get covered up at the end, but it doesn't matter because it all adds to the texture and the final look of the card. So the little flowers, they're just so adorable. They're actually tiny little Prima flowers that I've laid on top of each other and added pearls on. And then the metal little piece here, I'm just adding with a tiny bit of hot glue and just sticking that in. I mean, you can use whatever glue you like, but hot glue is just like an instant stick, and it's just the perfect thing for me right now to use on this card. So that's what I used. And I think that dark metal with the contrast on the light lace and card look really pretty, and it just gives a very dramatic impact. And so that is how it's looking, and it's looking really great. So I'm applying my Artsy stones again in the same way, and I'm just picking some random areas where, you know, the stones will be slightly visible, but also, you know, not in your face and not like just anywhere. They're like tucked behind flowers or just on the edge, just to give it that texture and that shabby kind of a look. And when they dry absolutely fabulous, and it just gives amazing texture. And if you want, you can always add ink over them. I kept it white because I wanted to give that shabby look, but you can always drop bits of ink on there if you wanted to create more drama on your card. So here I'm going in with my Nuvo drops, and the first drop actually just just splattered out, so I ended up putting a drop in there. Again, they're just random drops, and the colour perfectly matched the flowers, and it's just to draw your eye in, and you know, that colour just spreads out, so the whole card comes together really pretty. So here are both the cards, all waiting to be dried up, and I think they came out really cute, very full of things. I know some of you like them a bit more simplified, but these cards are the ones, you know, where you can just put in whatever you like. I mean, I could have just added more and more and more, but because the cards are only A6, they're quite small, I think it would have been just a bit too much. So the only extra thing that I did after I finished my second card was I just added a tiny bit more lace under the flower here, just a bit more of the dangle to match the dangles on here. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create these two cards. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely let me know what you think below. I do read all my comments. It's just nice to know what you guys think of the cards that I'm creating, but these are really fun to put together. And you know, just get out all your old stuff, get out all your bits and pieces, get out all your scraps of lace and things, and just start creating and putting things together. And it's just a lot of fun. So that's it from me for today. Hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.